and welcome, my friends, to Resident Evil 4, The Mercenaries ASMR. The Mercenaries is the final, optional game mode that is unlocked upon completion of the main storyline of Resident Evil 4. The Mercenaries turned out to be a game mode so popular that Capcom did their best to include it in every single Resident Evil they could, where possible. In this game mode, this is going to be about pure, unfiltered action. It's going to feel good. This game mode, I don't need to worry about exploring or anything else. Pure action. Take the restraints off and unleash our power on our enemies. We only have one unlockable character at the moment, Leon, who is equipped with a blacktail and a riot gun. And this is the appeal of the Mercenaries. You get to play as different Resident Evil universe characters, both hero and villain alike. So, we need to unlock them, of course. We have 4 hidden secret characters. We need to complete a trial with Leon. After some messing around off screen, we're warmed up. We have 4 levels: a village, the castle, an island, and a unique stage. Let's begin, and please enjoy, my friends. The objective in the Mercenaries ASMR is to eliminate as many Ganados as you can before your evac chopper arrives. Successive kills will score you more points. With a 4-star ranking, we will unlock a new character. You grab these items to extend your time, giving you more opportunity to score points. Now, the great fun of the Mercenaries is you get to jump straight into the action with any choice of 5 different characters from the Resident Evil universe. So, you are very familiar at this point, if you've watched the rest of the series, how Leon functions. He has a specific toolkit, the blacktail, a powerful handgun with a high rate of fire, and a trusty riot gun that we carried all the way to the end of the main story. He's a powerful character. Now, part of the Mercenaries is you can explore and find optional items such as healing medicine, grenades, and time extensions. But the primary objective of the Mercenaries is to destroy as many Ganados as you possibly can within the time limit. You have one unique modifier. If you pick up this treasure chest, you have 30 seconds in which you gain bonus points for kills. For every foe you send to the Shadow Realm, you will obtain even more points, and the trusty riot gun is going to help us achieve that. But first of all, we're going to use this grenade. And then we're going to swap to the riot gun. The Mercenaries is going to be a lot more reckless because I can just unleash my full power upon these enemies. It's all about taking out as many enemies as you possibly can with the tools you are provided. The blacktail and riot gun should be enough to suffice, even as we hear the horrifying sound of a chainsaw in the background. So this is the village level. We have to deal primarily with the regular Ganados, but chainsaw Ganados lurk in the background, who we always must be careful of. A single hit from a chainsaw Ganado will instantly kill us. The key is keeping our distance. We need to take out as many enemies as possible to extend our combo The longer the combo, the more points you will obtain. Now that we've gotten a sufficient amount of time by gathering pickup items, we have our Blacktail and Riot Gun, ready to unleash devastation upon our enemies. Let's wait for them to come to us. It's going to be very satisfying to just go into these areas and just unleash chaos. It's time. 30 seconds, bonus points for each kill. Let's be tactical about this. Slow down the chainsaw ganados and rain bullets upon them. One down. Boss enemies drop more points than a regular ganado. Now we can prioritize using our riot gun to clear out quantity rather than quality. Let's not worry too much about the combo timer for now. This is just to get down the basics of the Mercenaries. To sum it up in a nutshell for everyone, destroy as many enemies as possible. Try and do it within a specific time frame to maximize your points, and grab items to recover, keep ammunition high, and extend your timer. This area was going to be vital. This is where we can filter out the enemies. They are forced to pull up this ladder in their attempts to destroy us, but in doing so, they are exposed and vulnerable, making them easy to pick off. This is the first level of the Mercenaries, and one of the easier ones, but you can still get caught off guard if you're not prepared for the chainsaw ganados. So we're taking advantage of the opponent's behavior. They can only hit us from this point by lifting the ladder, and if we stop them from doing that, we can keep kicking the ladder down, luring them in towards us, and picking them off one by one, which Leon's Blacktail will surely help with. And the riot gun packing immense power. Highly appropriate. Unfortunately, we don't have much ammo, which is kind of hilarious considering how much ammunition we got in the main storyline. And of course, the goal is to obtain 4 stars at the end of this mission to unlock a new playable character. You can unlock a new playable character in each one of the stages by obtaining a 4-star rank. By maximizing your points, you can make this easier and easier. If only we had a grenade right now. No, you ain't getting up here. You don't know the password. What is it again? Bingo? So this is a very advantageous situation to be in. Getting lots of enemies clumped together at once. It's risky, but if you can pull it off, there's a high reward factor to this. You can also use environmental hazards, just like the main storyline, to make things significantly easier for us. Of course, boss characters will drop significantly more points than regular ganados. A fair trade, if I do say so. The riot gun and Blacktail, while extremely simple weapons, are extremely dependable. Just the kind of equipment we need to take him to this situation. And they will continue to spawn more and more chainsaw ganados. Let them come close. It allows us to maximize our damage. Time for a grenade. While the chainsaw ganado is down, we can strategize. This is where you can see the Mercenaries is all about pure, unfiltered action. We should have enough points to obtain plenty of stars, to obtain a new character. There's also other reasons I want to score as high as possible in this game mode. Of course, it all means nothing if you die along the way. But, as the timer comes to an end, so does the mission. There is our result. 46 enemies sent to the Shadow Realm. 60,000 plus in our score. Maximum kills in a row, 16. This gives us a rank of 5 stars. Perfect. Now, here is where it gets interesting. We will have now unlocked a new playable character and contributed to the final goal of this particular video, the Mercenaries ASMR. The Red Rogue, Ada, has been unlocked in the Mercenaries. So besides Separate Ways and Assignment Ada, we can now play as Ada in the Mercenaries. Pretty cool, huh? Ada comes with her own unique toolkit, and she is added to the title screen. We still have many more characters to unlock. 3 more. Leon has his own set of equipment, but so does Ada. And this is where the gameplay is going to get quite interesting. We have many different ways we can approach this game mode, and each character has their own unique twists that keep things fresh and hopefully entertaining and relaxing for you all. Leon Scott Kennedy with his black tail and riot gun and a first aid spray. Ada with a Punisher pistol, TMP, and semi-auto rifle alongside incendiary grenades. Ada. You've gotten very familiar with her through Separate Ways and Assignment Ada, and now we're going to unleash her beautiful charm upon the village. Now we're going to show you the difference between Leon and Ada in terms of equipment. Ada gets her own unique theme song. The characters play quite similar, but have enough differences to make them feel completely original. Ada's pistol is the Punisher, which has less damage overall, but allows you to puncture through multiple enemies at once. Useful when you're surrounded by enemies, which the Mercenaries will surely provide. Takes more bullets to take down a ganado. However, Ada has many tricks up her sleeve. The semi-auto rifle, one of the best weapons in the entirety of Resident Evil 4. It makes quick work of the regular ganados. Accurate, powerful, reliable. With this, we can easily accumulate combinations to increase our score. And we have my favorite weapon in the game, the TMP. Because of a particular character who we're going to unlock eventually in this game, and you'll find out who that is if you're not familiar and have guessed it by now. With the TMP, we have perfect crowd control, and Ada just feels that little bit quicker than Leon. With the TMP, we can damage multiple enemies at once and slow them down, meaning combo meters are significantly easier to gain. Also, she comes with these incendiary grenades, great for slowing enemies down as well. Of course, you need raw firepower to take down these chainsaw ganados. But the semi-auto rifle has us covered. If we can use it well enough, of course. Take down these smaller ganados to keep the combo timer running. Playing very dangerously. But we know just enough firepower to take out the chainsaw ganados. Bonus time. Alright. TMP really shines in this game mode. It's already a fantastic weapon, but when I just need to focus on eliminating as many enemies as quickly as possible, the TMP is just fantastic to play around with. Gonna use the same strategy we used with Leon. Hopefully, to gain a 5-star ranking with Ada in this level, instead of Leon. While we mow down these ganados by the dozen, let me explain. Now, we have 4 levels in the Mercenaries. Each level, if you score 4 stars at the end of a round, you will unlock a new character. If you obtain a 5-star ranking on every single level, with every single character, you will unlock a fantastic, incredibly broken and overpowered weapon that you can use in the main story. If you can obtain this weapon, it's more bragging rights if anything, but still, it's a fun and tangible reward to receive for mastering the gameplay and combat of Resident Evil 4 ASMR. And I plan on obtaining that weapon. It's kind of the final goodbye to this ASMR gaming series. I want to establish my dominance over this game. I want to show that I've mastered the combat by obtaining the very elusive and secret hidden weapon by mastering this game mode that is all about pure combat. Luckily, Ada comes with, in my opinion, one of the best equipment sets out of all the characters available. She might not have many fancy abilities, but her equipment setup is so powerful. Semi-auto rifle and TMP on their own should be enough to pull this off, but getting the Punisher too is a great bonus. We need 60,000 points in order to unlock a new character. In fact, no, I take that back. You need 60,000 points to obtain 5 stars. That should be the gold standard for the rest of this video. We're gonna try and aim for 5 stars as much as we can. Do you think we can do it, my friends? Keep watching, please enjoy, and feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe as we obliterate these enemies. It's very satisfying to just not have to worry about exploration. Find the enemies, search, and destroy. I mean, look at this. We've wiped this place clean. We have just enough points to have obtained 5 stars in this level. So now we can kind of chill around for 40 seconds. Of course, don't get hit by a chainsaw ganado or this all means nothing. 100 bullets in the TMP. We have this well under control. And also, we get to see Ada in a unique outfit. Rather than in her dress, she is in this kind of more combat-oriented dress, which suits her very well. Suits her character to a T. This beautiful, seductive, but also very dangerous and capable agent, who is just as capable as Leon at taking down the cult of the Los Illuminados. we've got this under control. With Ada's fantastic toolkit, we have all the items we need to obtain victory. Unfortunately, this is a problem when you play as Leon. Leon, while a fantastic character to play as, he only has 2 weapons, and it limits it to a degree. While the Blacktail is a weapon so good that I kept it all the way through the main story of Resident Evil 4, as well as the riot gun. Leon has the weakness that he lacks raw firepower, so if there's a boss-type enemy, it takes longer to destroy it. But his equipment set is still very good. It's just that once you start seeing what these other characters are capable of, you find him a little bit underpowered. But any character in the Mercenaries can be used to obtain a 5-star ranking. It's all down to the skill of the player, and I'm going to prove it to you all for your entertainment and relaxation. I mean, look at this. Easily. We could have ended this game earlier by just not picking up time extensions, but I'm just wanting to show you how powerful Ada's toolkit really is. The TMP for crowd control, and while the semi-auto rifle is supposed to be just an accurate and kind of powerful weapon, it's actually just amazing. Great fire rate, great power, fantastic range. It truly is one of the best weapons in the game. And it has carried us all the way to an even greater score in the village area. With this, we have cleared the village as Ada. 70 enemies killed, over 70,000 points, and a rank of 5 stars. So we have cleared the village level with both Leon and Ada at 5 stars. A 5-star ranking with Ada. Excellent. While I'm not doing this in a particular order yet, it's good to contribute to getting the maximum amount of 5-star rankings. So we have Leon and Ada on the title screen now. But we still have 3 secret unlockable characters to obtain. Let's go into our next round of the Mercenaries ASMR. To make things easier on myself, nah. Let's play with Leon. We have 5 stars on the village level. We still have the castle, the island, and the water world. Let's go for the castle with Leon. Eliminate as many Ganados as you can before your evac chopper arrives. Now the entire level is different. We are based in the castle area of the game, with cult-based enemies and mini-bosses. This is a level that Leon struggles with in particular, but we'll make the most of it. Luckily, some invincibility frames stopped us getting grabbed by that Ganado there. This is where Leon struggles in this level. He only has the Blacktail and the riot gun, and the riot gun's the only weapon that's powerful enough to just blast through the shields. But we can improvise here. Group the enemies together, boom, sent to the Shadow Realm. The Blacktail's fantastic at taking out regular Ganados. I don't need to worry about accuracy. I just blast them as many times until they drop down. Unfortunately, this goes through quite a bit of ammunition for the Blacktail. But let's see if we can do well enough to get a 5-star ranking. And if we don't, at least unlock a new character. We've unlocked Ada, and we've got 3 more to go. We need a 4-star ranking to unlock one of the free hidden characters. And we need a 5-star ranking to unlock the super secret weapon. Crossbow Ganados. Another flaw with Leon's design in this level. He doesn't have a long-range weapon to deal with enemies like this. He's not a weak character by any means, he just is missing, I'd say, one more weapon in his arsenal to make him truly as powerful as the rest of the characters. That being said, the riot gun is that good, it makes up for the power difference. It's just a little bit more situational is all. Keep comboing enemies together. It's these shield enemies that are going to give us a lot of bother. A dynamite enemy. Let's see if we can capitalize on this. Excellent. We need to quickly alternate between the Blacktail and the riot gun to keep up consistency, keep our high score. This is another flaw of Leon's design in this level. It's a Garrador there. These enemies are blind, but due to the frantic nature of the action of the Mercenaries ASMR, you can't really stand still and just let him wander around like you would in the main campaign. You need to get aggressive with these heavily armored enemies. Which means you've got to pull out the riot gun every time. Which means you'll go through the ammunition quickly. In my personal opinion, I think one change I would make to the Mercenaries mode, in my personal opinion, all of the other 4 hidden characters can match the boss enemies rather easily. And while the riot gun is powerful against boss enemies, I think all Leon really needs, additionally added to his arsenal, if his inventory was the Blacktail, the riot gun, and the broken butterfly, that would make Leon pretty much the most well-rounded character in the entire game mode. Something for Ganados, something for groups, and something for mini-bosses. And it makes sense. He grabs the broken butterfly in this area of the game for free. But we'll make do with the equipment that we have. Unfortunately, we're not doing as well as I hoped, but maybe we can do well enough to still obtain a 4 or 5-star ranking. See, if we had a broken butterfly, we could take down this mini-boss a lot quicker. Unfortunately, we have to make do with the riot gun, which is great against regular enemies. But against mini-bosses, it lags behind a little tiny bit. Except in one exceptional case you'll find out later. With well-timed shots and precision, you can go through any mini-boss with the riot gun. You just have to approach it with a lot of caution. Okay, the Garrador is down. Now we can focus on the smaller enemies. Keep the momentum going. Frantic, full-on, non-stop action. That's what the Mercenaries ASMR is all about. Even if I'm not performing up to my usual standard that I would like, we should be able to do well enough to unlock something at least. Either way, I'm going to have to obtain 5 stars with Leon one way or the other. My ego just won't allow it. Beautiful suplex, Leon. Blast this guy to keep the counter up. Only 10 handgun bullets, but a well-timed grenade. Give us time to reload. $14 in a row. That'll give us a good amount of points. Listen to that, though. That noise is a crossbow Ganado firing. It's a shooting gallery over there. If we had a ranged weapon, we could have took them out from further away. But unfortunately, we have to get close, up in their face, which unfortunately is very dangerous, because the regular Ganados with the scythes can actually throw these at us. can do a ton of damage. But using our grenades, and we have no choice but to use the riot gun as we're out of handgun ammunition. This is a close call, but I think we can pull this off. I know I can do this. So you kind of get into the flow of the combat. When you're doing very well, you sometimes don't even need to look for treasure or pickups because you've got the momentum going. In this instance, because we're not doing as well, we need to pretty much slow down a little bit to make sure we survive the round in the first place. It doesn't matter how well you play. If you die, you don't get anything. It's better to survive and obtain something than die and obtain nothing at all. Leon's lack of equipment is showing in this level, but I'll conquer it either in this session or the next. But Leon does have a lot of great strengths. His pistol and his shotgun are fantastic. I just personally think it would have been a great addition to give him the broken butterfly. I think it would have kept him perfectly balanced. You only use the broken butterfly on a boss, and that would fix one of his major weaknesses. Giving him a rifle, I think, would just make him completely overpowered. He would shatter the game into a million pieces. Then again, the Mercenaries is about having fun. And wait until you see the other hidden characters, and how ridiculously broken they can be. We're getting close to a 5-star ranking, but I don't see it happening. Sorry. I'll do better next time. I've got to make sure I survive this. Keep moving so we don't get hit with crossbow bolts. Is this going to be enough points? I don't think so. Nah, it's not enough. Unfortunate. Nonetheless, we survived the castle area of the game as Leon. However, there's a silver lining. The Man of Malevolence, Krauser, has been unlocked in the Mercenaries. How exciting. This is another reason why the Mercenaries ASMR, I truly believe, is going to be an interesting video for you all. Not only do we get to play as the heroes, we get to play as the villains. And who doesn't enjoy being a little bit bad now and then? Leon with a formidable arsenal of weaponry. Krauser only has one weapon, but wait till you see how ridiculously broken he can be. Leon's former comrade turned villain. I said before in the previous episodes, we haven't seen the last of him. Now let me show you the true power of Jack Krauser and the Mercenaries ASMR. Let's go to the village. And Krauser comes with his own theme song as well. Combat music. Lock a new secret of a 5-star ranking on all stages with all characters. Transform Krauser's arm, attack or cancel. Now, Krauser's weapon, he used on us in the main story. His bow. It does a ridiculous amount of damage. Regular granados just go down very easily. If you're accurate with the bow, it has a slow reload, but if you pull it off, very high damage. The funny thing is, Krauser uses a variety of weapons in the main story. He uses his version of a TMP, the bow, and other weapons. But to be honest, if you gave Krauser a TMP, this would just absolutely obliterate any sense of balance in this game mode. Because Krauser is among the top tier characters, in my opinion, in this game mode. He has devastating melee moves. Makes sense, since he has been enhanced with supernatural powers. Thanks to the Plagas inside of him. Watch this. Kick one of the Bella sisters down. Now, let's give ourselves some space. Witness the power of Jack Krauser. We can transform Krauser's arm here. Clear a little bit of space for dramatic effect. Unleash. Krauser can transform his arm into his final boss form, unleashing the Plagas inside. You do this quick slash move in front of you that will instantly kill any opponent in the entire game. However, you need to wait for Krauser's arm to glow red again in order to use it, so you have to use it at the right moment. It's the equivalent to Krauser of a Magnum, except it instantly kills any enemy, including mini-bosses. Combine this with his compound bow and his knife that he's very keen on using in the story, and you have an incredibly powerful character. He's fast, he's powerful, he has a great weapon, he has a secret weapon, and he's got cool animations, and it's great to just play the side of the villain. Look, Krauser's arm's glowing red again, so if another mini-boss shows up, we can just wipe them out instantly. It makes you feel very confident in your skill and your power. The only thing that ties Krauser back, really, is that his weapon requires you to be very accurate with it. If you're missing a lot of shots with the bow, like I'm doing right now, you will be left exposed to attack as Krauser will automatically reload. But it does a hell of a lot of damage if it connects. And the bow is that powerful that it can stagger even mini-bosses, leading to a follow-up with a melee attack, of which Krauser has some of the best ones in the game. Also, clearing a headshot with Krauser's bow and arrows. Very satisfying. 2 mini-bosses in one Plagas arm strike. See how powerful this thing is? And also, you get extra points for defeating mini-bosses. So Krauser having his Plagas is a very nice touch to this game mode. They did need to add that. I could have seen them creating Krauser in the Mercenaries, like, okay, if we're not going to give him his Plagas arm, we'll give him the TMP and the bow. But no, they decided to go that extra mile to make Krauser stand out and be unique. He is a dark reflection of Leon. Because imagine if Leon had this kind of power. Oh man, that'd be cool. But at the end of the day, light and darkness, good and evil. Power can corrupt. But it's good to play around with since we're playing a game now, isn't it? Let's go get a time extension. 10 seconds left. Don't worry, we got this. 90 seconds. Now we're going to use the trick that we used in the previous sessions. We lead them all down to this area. They try and lift the ladder, and we pick them off one by one. With Krauser's bow, this is going to be even easier due to the sheer power of this weapon. I mean, if you're patient enough, you can take down chainsaw ganados with the bow and arrow alone. It's just a little bit dangerous, considering 2 of them can spawn at the same time. And it staggers them very, very well. Regular ganados, it obliterates them. One chainsaw ganado down. Another added advantage, since this is Krauser's primary and only offensive weapon, he can only pick up ammunition for this weapon, so you don't have to worry about inventory management. The enemies are only going to drop ammunition for his bow and arrow, which means you should be well stocked as long as you keep Krauser aggressive. Just like I feel like he would be anyways. I mean, he was very aggressive in the story mode, so that's no surprise. One more Plagas arm. 15 in a row. Mission completed. And we get a unique victory screen for Krauser. Yeah. Mission completed. 5 stars in the village area with Krauser. Now with 5 stars on this area with Jack Krauser, you can truly see the power of the Las Plagas, unfortunately on the side of villainy. If Krauser remained on the side of the heroes, that could have been an interesting development. But part of the fun of the Mercenaries is getting to play as a bunch of different Resident Evil universe characters. We've unlocked 3 characters in this mode, and we still have 2 left. But the next 2 are among my very favorites. So, let's go about unlocking them then. Now the title screen has Krauser, Leon, and Ada. 2 more hidden characters are left, and Krauser is ridiculously powerful, and they're gonna get even more broken in different ways. These 2 mysterious hidden figures. Now, we cleared the village quite easily with 5 stars. Now, with our improved arsenal of weaponry, let's go for the first time to the island area. Eliminate as many ganados as you can before your evac chopper arrives. Typical. This kind of area seems like Krauser's type of thing. This is where you fight him after all. Krauser's bow's gonna come in incredibly handy here. Lots of tight enclosed spaces. And the satisfaction of getting to use a bow in a game like this and have it be ridiculously powerful. Guess it makes sense though. Think about it. Krauser's a superhuman, so he could probably get some kind of bow with a string that's got a ridiculously heavy requirement, something that a normal human couldn't handle. So an arrow right to the face could be deadly. Not for us though. A JJ spawning immediately. Let's show them who's the boss. JJ goes down with ease thanks to the Las Plagas. Krauser's melee moves are almost always instant kills. Equip the bow again. Try out some archery. Even when things go wrong, we can recover from disaster. Makes us a crisis king, or a crisis ace if you will. Sometimes in the most dire, desperate, disastrous situations, a true crisis, can truly excellent moments happen. Even when things go wrong, Krauser can tough it out. And it's a nice touch letting him use his knife from the main story. The knife being a great utility weapon. With the way things are going right now, I think we're going to get to 5 stars rather easily. I am playing a little bit more reckless because I can afford to with Krauser. This also stresses the importance of using the bow properly. If you miss your shots, you are left exposed, but it's a very powerful weapon. And it's great that they added this into Resident Evil's gameplay. How many times have you played a video game, and you've looked at the villain and went, wow, they're cool. It would be awesome if you got to play as them. For moments like that. And Resident Evil 4 turns around and says, yeah, you can play as the villains. In a way that doesn't break the story of the game. Although some creative games have allowed you to play as villains. But in fun, optional game modes like this, it's great to just cut loose. Krauser goes on a rampage through this island. Just gives you a different aesthetic altogether. Get off of us. Flashbang. Krauser's fantastic melee. Great for clearing rooms. And Krauser's arm is regenerated yet again. His most powerful tool in his arsenal. It's so good that they decided not to give him a TMP because of it. Sure, JJ can show up and damage us, but once we get the Plagas arm activated, and we hit them with it, it's an instant kill. We have enough points easily to get 5 stars now. Oh, this is going to be exciting. Because getting 5 stars in this area unlocks, believe it or not, my favorite character in the Resident Evil universe. And you're going to find out who that is very soon. He might not be everyone's favorite character, but he's mine. It's just something I love about him. We could just end the session right now, but let's play around for a little bit longer, just to show you how powerful Krauser is. Leon can do all of these missions as well, you just have a little bit more difficulty, because he doesn't have a boss killer type weapon. Ada gets the semi-auto rifle, Krauser gets his Plagas arm, and the other 2 characters have their own unique, interesting ways of taking out bosses. Headshots with this thing is so satisfying. Another JJ. And he goes down just like the rest of them. How useful is this Plagas arm? A great addition to this game mode. Really helps Krauser stand out as the badass that he is. Mission completed. The island area with Jack Krauser cleared with 5 stars. Practically a level built for Krauser. Now, I'm looking very much forward to this. With 5 stars in the island area, behold, an interesting development. We unlock a new character. Special Ops Agent Hunk is back in the Mercenaries. The 4th hidden character in the Mercenaries ASMR. This is going to be a lot of fun. Now allow me to explain. Things are going to get very violent, very quick. Now Hunk is added to the title screen, with 1 hidden character left. Hunk is something of a fan favorite amongst the Resident Evil fan base and universe. He doesn't make too many appearances in the series. Special Ops Agent Hunk. He first appeared in Resident Evil 2, just like Leon, in an optional game mode. And he's gained his own characterization that people have just taken this liking to. Hunk is very simple in some regards. You never see Hunk's face, depending on the adaptation. Now watch this. Eliminate as many Ganados as you can before your evac chopper arrives. Hunk in black riot gear. I'm going to show you why he's my favorite character gameplay-wise in Resident Evil 4 ASMR. Hunk's going to go on a rampage through this village. Hunk only has one weapon, the TMP. And the touch of death. If Hunk staggers a regular Ganado, he can twist their neck and break it, instantly killing them. Hunk is this no-nonsense character. He comes in with a single weapon, but he is very efficient at using it. We only need to pick up TMP ammunition. He has a fantastic melee move, a weapon with a fantastic fire rate, and this. The touch of death. A chainsaw Ganado killed. In just a moment. As simple as that. Hunk is famous in the Resident Evil universe for a little bit of backstory. In-universe, Hunk has a nickname, Mr. Death. Besides his fearsome, offensive capabilities in battle, Hunk is almost a man who is cursed with mystery and death, hence why they call him Mr. Death. Any squad he is sent on, the survival rate plummets, but Hunk is the only one who ever survives at all costs. Hunk will do anything to complete his mission. He is ruthless. But in a way, he is a neutral character, neither good nor evil, completely and utterly focused on accomplishing his objectives. This ruthless efficiency, cool appearance, and badass abilities when you get to play as him have kept Hunk as this dark horse in the Resident Evil universe. He does not have any superpowers. We don't even know his name, or who he really is. All we know is, when Hunk gets sent on a mission, he will never die, for one cannot kill death itself. It's also a good name, Hunk. Besides being very handsome in this cool black riot gear and gas mask, giving him this ominous feel. Hunk, depending on what your opinion is. People really like the description for Hunk. Human unit never killed. Due to his reputation for always being the sole survivor on his missions. With skills like this, he would be an absolutely dangerous opponent to face. But the main characters of Resident Evil have never met Hunk. And that's probably for their own good. We don't know who Hunk is. All we do know is that Hunk is the best at what he does. The mission above all else. In this area, the village, this is a fantastic area for Hunk to play around in the art of death. He only has one weapon. Besides some hand grenades, his primary weapon is a simple custom TMP. but that's all he needs. Later titles would give him an affiliation with knives and this sinister assassin-style background. And that's why I like him. For anybody that's a fan of the video game series Doom, Hunk reminds me a lot of Doomslayer. This pure, unfiltered, destructive force of chaos, concentrated solely at its enemies. You can hurt them. You can throw anything at them. You can put them in a suicide scenario where no one will survive. And yet, Hunk always survives. I guess you could say, Hunk always comes back. Think about it. We are absolutely obliterating the high score in this stage with just a TMP and Hunk's CQC skills. Combined with an appearance like this, a mysterious background that keeps people asking, who is this guy? How did he get so good? And what are his motives? This makes Hunk one of a kind. A fan-favorite character in the Resident Evil universe, and my favorite gameplay-wise to use in the Mercenaries. A very simple approach, but this is pretty much how Hunk would approach his missions, with ruthless efficiency. Hunk would just come in with a machine gun, blast all the opponents, grab all the objectives, and evacuate, no matter what kind of odds are against him. Hunk always finds a way to be the human unit never killed. And the fact that he is a character with no superpowers, just the best at what he does. These are just many, many reasons why people love Hunk so much. Usually locked away, hidden behind some kind of bonus mode. We never meet Hunk in the main story of Resident Evil 4, but they were kind enough to add him to this game mode, and I'm so grateful to them for that. Thank you. Look at this. We've wrought so much death and destruction upon the village. It's quiet. Where's everybody went? Bingo? Absolutely overrun with enemies. Now it's almost like a ghost town. Human unit never killed, indeed. I mean, look at this. Nobody's left standing, except Hunk. This is exactly how I could see Hunk performing the mission. Ruthless, cold, calculating, a force of destruction. Neither good nor evil, only the mission, and to destroy one's enemies. And then, when the time is right, evacuate and leave the battlefield. And that's what Hunk has done in the village section of the Mercenaries ASMR. We created an all-time record and gained 5 stars with Hunk in Resident Evil 4, the Mercenaries ASMR. I hope you enjoyed that, because I really did. It's good to just... I sounded like the Emperor there. Good. Unleash true chaos. Darth Hunk. Destroy the Jedi. I mean, Ganados. Wrong series. I love to play using Hunk. Such a simple character, but just wrought in mystery. I love him. And look at his equipment compared to Leon. He has less weapons than Leon. But the raw skills that he has in melee, and the one weapon he does have, is so powerful. That's all he needs. Now we're going to take Hunk into another level. How about the one we unlocked him in? Yeah, the island. And then we get Hunk's combat theme. Also, I love the whole gas mask aesthetic. Gas masks are kind of strange. While they do exist for a genuine reason, having an armored bulletproof helmet and a gas mask, it really sells that look that Hunk is some kind of specter of death. Also that he is prepared at all times for any situation. Bullets, explosives, gas attack, melee, Hunk can do it all. He can dish out punishment, but he can also take it. Because this is my favorite character, we should be able to easily obtain 5 stars in this area. Hunk's one weakness in gameplay design is from his strength as well. His one weapon, the TMP, only really has one weakness. It's not great at destroying boss characters until you fully upgrade it. And Hunk's TMP is not completely upgraded to the level of Leon's in the main story, because if it was, the Mercenaries would be a complete joke to complete with Hunk. But the fact that this isn't even the TMP at max power, and we're still doing so well, just speaks volumes on the level of danger this weapon possesses. I mean, this isn't even the weapon at full power. So Hunk doesn't have a boss killer type weapon. He doesn't have a weapon specifically for bosses. He has a weapon for everything. The TMP will do all of it. So the weakness of Hunk is pretty much that he takes a little while to destroy an enemy, but if you get a good opening to just unleash a barrage of bullets, then even enemies like JJ will go down in no time. But that's what Hunk would do anyways. Hunk would wait for the precise moment and then attack. No half measures. And his melee moves are just nothing short of brutal. Snapping the neck of his opponent, kneeing them in the face with probably metal knee pads or something. That is, if Hunk even needs them to smash in some skulls. And we're not done here yet. We need to get more time. We're going to try and get 5 stars with Hunk in this area. Hunk is just fantastic at crowd control. He's a perfect example of quality over quantity. Can you imagine how efficient any organization would be in the Resident Evil universe if they had like 30 of Hunk? You can have a unit of 30 people, but if one of them is Hunk, imagine 30 of them. Oh, it'd be unstoppable. The air of mystery around this character. Also, that neck break move is so satisfying because it's tricky to pull off. But if you do, you know you have just destroyed an enemy. There's no getting out of it. Once Hunk has his grip on your neck, it's over. A very villainous type of move. Impending doom, if you will. I truly believe Hunk is a true neutral character, though. Neither evil nor good. He just happens to be on the side of the villains. But it wouldn't matter to him either way. The mission is what comes first. Also, Hunk kind of embodifies just the mercenaries in general. I mean, look at this. We don't need to worry about exploration. We just get the bullets, we get the healing items, and then we just unleash hell upon our enemies. Pure, unfiltered action. Ooh, nice. That doesn't always happen, but when it does, it is extremely satisfying. No matter what they throw at us, they can't keep us down. How do you kill that which has no life? Are they talking about me? Or are they talking about Hunk? Just showcasing how tremendous the TMP is as a weapon. You can use it as range, you can use it as defensive, you can use it as an offensive, you can use it as a boss killer if you get the right moment. You just have to be tactical about your shots. How many does it take to take down an enemy? How many bullets do you have? And who do you prioritize in the big group? Well, whoever shot that rocket at us is gonna get it. That should be more than enough for Mr. Death. Mission completed. Hunk clears yet another mission with a 5-star ranking. It's a lot of fun to play with Hunk. Tell me something, my friends. For making it this far in the video, I thank you from the bottom of my black little heart. But, I'm curious, to any of you who have played Resident Evil 4, The Mercenaries, who is your favorite character to play as? Is it Leon, Ada, Hunk, Krauser, or the to-be-decided final hidden character? Let me know in the comments. And send a like while you're at it, I'd really appreciate that. Right, plugs out of the way, let's continue. The Mercenaries. ASMR. We have one more character to unlock. But we'll take our time in unlocking him. Because when that character gets unlocked, all hell breaks loose. This is the final level in the Mercenaries ASMR. Let's do it with Ada. Feels kind of appropriate. This is a unique level, the Water World. I don't know if this is intentionally meant to look like the Water World from the Kevin Costner movie. A unique area to fight in, completely unique to the Mercenaries. However, this level is in some players' nightmares, because there is also a unique boss character that only exists in this level of the game, a Mercenaries exclusive. And that is why I chose Ada. Ada has the most varied toolkit in the Mercenaries, and we're gonna need it. So I want to show you. It seems simple enough at first. You're fighting island-based enemies, alright? Lots of ladders, lots of vantage points. Nothing too insane, especially with Ada's arsenal. However, the mini-boss character in this level is the stuff of nightmares. You're going to meet them very soon, and you'll know when they arrive. That's why we need our trusty TMP. This character used to give me all sorts of trouble when I originally played the Mercenaries. I used to freak out so much, like, what do I do? What do I do? Now, we're going to approach it like Hunk would, with tactical thought and planning. Careful, but simultaneously reckless. Trust me, you'll know when the mini-boss character arrives. They will really stand out. Quite a unique level design. It's cool for optional game modes to give you areas that you didn't even access in the main story. Helps keep things refreshing. Hear that noise? A chainsaw. But not just any chainsaw. This enemy in the distance. We need to rid ourselves of the enemies immediately. There is a chainsaw ganado in the area. Their name is Super Salvador, a unique type of chainsaw ganado. We can slow them down by shooting them, because they do not climb ladders, they just jump straight up. This guy is a raving lunatic, swinging wildly, aiming to take off Ada's head. However, it looked quite controlled in that situation there. We just shot him 3 times in the head with a semi-auto rifle and it was done. The main element of Super Salvador is fear. Super Salvador is basically a chainsaw ganado that goes berserk, swinging wildly and approaching you faster than the regular gun. Excuse me, just causing a firestorm here. As I said, the main component of Super Salvador and why he's so memorable to players is fear. You have an enemy that not only is taller than regular chainsaw ganado Salvador, he's 7 feet tall. He has a double-bladed chainsaw, and he's swinging it wildly, and he's approaching you at the same speed that you can run. So the moment you hear that chainsaw noise, you know you must always look out for Super Salvador. And you cannot just simply run away, because if even Ada was to climb up that ladder, Super Salvador can just jump straight to the top. So he can be lying there and wait for you. He can reach the top of an area before you even get a chance to climb the ladder. By that point, it's too late. So whenever you hear the chainsaw, watch out. We may have took down a Super Salvador, but that's just because Ada's got one of the best weapons in the game. If Super Salvador existed in the main story, it would make for a very frightening encounter. But having a unique enemy exclusive to the Mercenaries really makes this game mode feel special. After all, this is just a different level, cool design, but it's island enemies. But the mini-boss is what sells this area. Good thing about Super Salvador is that he doesn't have that much more health than a regular ganado. But it sure as hell doesn't seem like it. It's got a very intimidating presence. And they can appear at any moment. You just need to listen out for the chainsaw. This is why Ada is one of the most powerful characters in the Mercenaries. We have the right weapon for every situation. The TMP and the semi-auto rifle. That combination alone will win you games. Now Super Salvador behind us. We're not finished yet. We're ending this on my terms. There he is. This guy just swings endlessly until he falls. We need to close the distance. In fact, no. We don't need to close the distance, we just need to get the hell away from him. Well, not the most graceful way to end the mission, but nonetheless, we survived the water world with Ada in Resident Evil 4 The Mercenaries ASMR. And with that, we've obtained a 5-star rank, allowing us to unlock the final hidden character. The infamous Albert Wesker has returned in The Mercenaries. The true antagonist of the entire franchise of Resident Evil, Albert Wesker, is now playable in The Mercenaries. A character that I have played before in some audio roleplays, and I will continue to do so in the future, if you'd like. Now we've unlocked Albert Wesker. We're going to take our time before we play through levels as Wesker, because I feel that's an appropriate way to end this video. Because the power gap between Wesker and the other characters is absolutely ridiculous. So, human unit never killed, Hunk, is now going to go into the castle area. This is probably the area that Hunk actually does the least damage in, because there's lots of enemies with shields, and the TMP, while powerful, is not particularly great at smashing the shields, but it can do the job. Also, Garradors are very heavily armored enemies, so it takes a lot of shots to take them down. But Hunk will accomplish their mission by any means necessary. Another situation where Hunk is still managing to overcome the odds. Garradors are quite an issue to deal with. However, Hunk does get access to grenades. So, we're going to continue to unleash devastation upon our foes. Just because it's a difficult challenge doesn't mean it's impossible. You just gotta believe and commit in your confidence to your goal. Life advice from Hunk. We're best friends. Take it from me. And him. There's just something about the silent, stoic type. There's just such a cool character trait. Sometimes the lack of knowledge about a character is what makes him so interesting. You know just enough about Hunk, but enough to ask questions. Really begs the question, what would happen if Hunk met the main characters of Resident Evil? Would it be good or bad? It all comes down to whatever Hunk's mission is. Ruthless, cold, efficient. The perfect soldier. Making some efficient progress here. Bonus time. Keep the counter up to maintain our score. Come on, Hunk. You can pull this off. Ganado with dynamite. It can fill you with dread or joy, depending on how you handle the situation. Shield Ganados. Irritating, but not impossible to deal with. Can we get some extra time? There we go. Can deal with long and short range engagements. Also, due to the rapid fire of the TMP, we can intercept bolts as they're being launched at us. Just gotta make sure we're in the right direction when it happens. One more cultist goes down. Been hanging on to these grenades for a while now. Might as well use them. This should be enough to take us to 5 stars. And it is. Mission complete. Hunk has cleared the castle area with 5 stars. Excellent results. Making solid progress so far in the Mercenaries ASMR. The simplicity of Hunk's playstyle is just a lot of fun. Just take the TMP, use the melee attacks when they arise, and then just obliterate your foes. Sometimes it's simplicity that works best. Now the question is, do we continue playing with Hunk or select a different character? The objective at the end of this video is to get 5 stars on every level with every single character for a very complete experience. Should I play more with Hunk? Or would I play with Ada, Leon, Krauser, or even Wesker? I still think I'm going to leave Wesker until last. You'll understand why once we play later. But you get to see the power differences between the characters. They're all viable and usable in their own ways. To some people, Hunk might actually be an underpowered character. It's all down to how you play the game. But what a great bonus addition to the Resident Evil 4 ASMR experience. Yeah. Let's play as Hunk one more time. This time, let's play the Water World, where we unlocked Albert Wesker. Let's take on island enemies and the Super Salvador enemy. This is going to be challenging, but I know we can do it. Dynamite Ganado. Let him get close. Nice. We need to be aware at all times of Super Salvador whenever he spawns. Like Leon, Hunk doesn't have a boss killer weapon, but the TMP will be able to take him out. We just need to be very careful when we use it. It takes quite a lot to stagger Super Salvador when he appears. Literally any time we go through a door, Super Salvador could be there. Crossbow Ganados. Take them out first. We need to keep the free flow of combat smooth. Find an enemy to keep the count up. Oh well. We've got plenty of time. Time to go obtain more time. We have these high up areas we can climb on the ladder for vantage points. Excellent if you get a character like Ada who has the semi-auto rifle. With Hunk, we're just gonna go in assault mode. Just keep charging the enemies as much as we can. Get right in their face, unload the TMP, and keep the momentum flowing freely. Alright. And the beauty of the TMP is that we can just aim at body shots. As long as we're accumulating damage, that's one of the main things. This is why it can be dangerous to encounter Super Salvador. A very large ladder, and Salvador can just jump all the way to the top. He can beat you. Just like we're doing to these enemies, it's like it transforms us into a chainsaw ganado. We get the right moment, we can instantly kill enemies, which is a great way of ensuring retribution for all those times that you might have died to a chainsaw ganado. It's good to just walk in and insta-kill them, just like they would to you. There's a chainsaw, I can hear it. Super Salvador's nearby. Where is he? The only time he slows down is when he's moving. We can stagger him with grenades, though. Super Salvador goes down. That's the primary threat neutralized. If you stockpile grenades with Hunk, you can stagger Super Salvador, allowing you the opportunity to keep hammering him with attacks. Super Salvador doesn't have a great amount of health, but you need to get yourself put in a situation to unleash it. If you don't get that momentum going and you can't keep damaging Salvador, that's when disaster strikes. But they're giving us plenty of ganados to keep our score high. Not as many shield ganados as the castle area, thankfully. Got this relatively under control. I just had to jinx myself, didn't I? Use a grenade here. Efficient. Having a blast playing as Hunk. Great thing as well with the TMP, just the rapid reload you get out of this. At maximum ammunition, 100 bullets and a reload that takes less than 2 seconds. Use another grenade here. That might come back to haunt us if Salvador appears again. They will keep spawning. Shield Ganado. You'll pay for that. Twist. That neck breaker move's just so iconic. Couldn't get the score off that time. We're very close to reaching 5 stars though. If we can take down another Super Salvador, that should give us enough points to obtain 5 stars. And then that way, Hunk will have cleared all the levels with 5 stars. Make sure we survive first of all though. And then run away for the dynamite explodes. Nice. Grotesque, the way he just contorts their neck like that. Makes it look easy. Like death itself is guiding them. Quick change. We have enough points now to obtain 5 stars. But let's see just how far we can take this with Hunk in Waterworld. We have this mechanism here we can use to escape. Very usefully if you have to deal with Super Salvador and you don't have the firepower ready yet. Also, it's a very good vantage point. Enemies can't strike you from behind in this area, so they're forced to come up these stairs or those ladders on the right. Full health, full ammunition. We've got this under control so far. Am I going to jinx myself again? Oh, there's that chainsaw. Super Salvador's back. We could just leave in the evac chopper. But we're ending this mission on my terms. There he is, jumping straight up the ladder. Stagger him momentarily. Uh-oh. Very close call. He's in pursuit. I'm not running away, I'm fighting in the other direction. Need time for a reload. Keep the distance. Takes a lot of bullets to take down Super Salvador. Distance is key. Quite an intimidating opponent, isn't he? Keep going. Hear him behind us. He'll have to hop through this window area. That'll slow him down for a moment. Just. The luck of the devil, it seems. A moment longer, the mission would have failed. But Hunk is the human unit never killed. There we are. 5 stars in the Waterworld level. Hunk has now completed all levels with 5 stars. Excellent. The luck of the devil. 1 second longer and it would have been all over. Just shows you how dangerous Super Salvador can be when he gets momentum going. That was fun though. I got to play my favorite Resident Evil character, for a very friendly and kind audience. I never could have envisioned this when I first created this channel, so thank you all for the opportunity. I'm grateful for every single one of you. Now, we have 2 levels left to clear with Ada. We did Waterworld and the village, so now let's go into the castle area with Ada. Ada has, in my opinion, the best equipment loadout out of all the Mercenaries characters. In terms of sheer survivability, she has the Punisher, which can puncture through shields and hit multiple Ganados at once. She's quite an agile character. She has a knife, a TMP, and a semi-auto rifle, as well as plenty of grenades. Ada is the most well-equipped for overall survivability. It won't be too long before we're playing as Ada's boss, Albert Wesker. Then you get to see his truly insane loadout. But for now, we'll do this with a woman's touch. We still get to use our TMP, which is excellent. In terms of unlocking characters, if you're good at using all of your weaponry, then Ada is probably, in my opinion, the best choice for unlocking all the other characters, as you only have to get 4 stars in the village area, which is the easiest one. However, if you have trouble with mini-boss characters, then unlock Krauser first and take advantage of his Plagas arm, and then have good aim with his compound bow. It's all down to your own skill and preferences when you play this game mode. After all, variety is the spice of life. Fire, take you to burn. Oh, I hear that noise. That's a Garrador. Power of the semi-auto rifle. We need to wait for Garrador to turn his back, so we can shoot him in the weak spot. There he is. Take advantage. Small gap here. Here it is. Opportunity. Excellent. Semi-auto rifle is way more powerful than it appears. You think it's going to be a medium-powered but high range weapon. But it's actually a great combination, a fantastic reload, fire rate, and sheer power. It's one of the best weapons in Resident Evil 4, and it's showcased here. And even though it's a little bit underpowered compared to the Blacktail or the Red 9, or even the basic handgun, the Punisher does have its uses. I think the Punisher finds its best use in the Mercenaries mode, where there's lots of enemies lined up in a row, so you get to save ammunition to a degree. Get to just shoot through multiple enemies at once. solid, steady progress. Get away from us. Ada does that in style, that little backflip. Little touches like that to really add to their personality and overall dynamic. Hunk, Ada, Krauser just boot the guy in the face, but Ada just needs to show off that little bit of acrobatic skill by doing the little backflip. It's a nice touch. We should be able to get 5 stars of Ada in this stage. Just need to grab a little bit more time. It's sitting right over there. 10 seconds to go. We can pull this off. Because of our equipment loadout, I'm very confident we'll be able to pull this off. Garradors aren't necessarily the most difficult enemies to take out. It's just quite awkward to get the opportunity to strike them with heavy damage. Especially when there's tons of Ganados already trying to kill you. But it can be done. Just gotta strategize at the right time, is all. You'll pay for that. We have enough points to obtain 5 stars. Now we can just cut loose. Uh-oh. Ran out of ammo. A little too trigger happy there. Semi-auto rifle also punctures through multiple enemies at once as well. It really is the total package, this weapon. Look at that fire rate. I was just shooting with reckless abandon. Sometimes I just aim for where I think the enemies are going to be. Creepy. Yeah, this area's getting clear with 5 stars. Let's get some melee moves in. Just for style. Only 10 seconds left. Let's just keep the streak going. Mission completed. Ada has cleared the castle area with 5 stars. Wonderful work so far. Her arsenal of very powerful weaponry makes this much easier. You have an answer for pretty much every situation the game can throw at you. Blacktail to puncture through shields and regular Ganados. TMV for just about everything. And then the semi-auto rifle, even though it's not a magnum, it might as well be, it's that powerful. High power, high fire rate. Great for bosses. So we just need one more area to clear with Ada. And then that will be 5 stars obtained with both Hunk and Ada. So let's make sure we do that. What area didn't we clear with Ada again? My memory serves, it's the island? Yes, it is. Alright, let's go for this. Let's obtain the final 5-star ranking for Ada in the island area of the Mercenaries. ASMR. Okay. Love the fact if an enemy's standing near an area they can fall over. Just gives you that little bit extra breathing room. One of the main concerns is you gotta look out for ganados using RPGs. Get away from us. Love Ada's outfit in this mode as well. Still has that look of feminine grace, but also this badass woman that don't take no crap from anyone. Strong female character, done right. JJ goes down with 2 well-placed shots. Nice. RPG Ganado. Need to be very careful of those. Luckily, JJ dropped a first aid spray. Mini-bosses tend to drop healing items, and you'll usually need them after a mini-boss. "30 seconds extension. Quick movement speed. Crossbow Ganado. Take them out first. Where are you? Ah, there you are. Sent to the Shadow Realm. Now JJ goes down. The right equipment, any objective is achievable. It eventually hits a stage where you need to find enemies to take down, rather than them coming to you. I mean, you saw what happened with Hunk in the village. Nice. There's a good impact to the melee moves in this game. Plenty of TMP ammo. We're well stocked up. Take a moment to reload. Continue. Another time extension sitting over here. Let's grab it. 30 seconds. Should be more than enough time to hit the 5-star ranking that we need. Explosions everywhere. This is like a Michael Bay movie. That should be enough to send us to 5 stars the bonus time. Another JJ. He's a big guy, though. He can take a lot of bullets, but he's also very easy to target because of it. Out of our way. Okay, time to move to extract. I'm satisfied with that. Mission complete. Now all levels have been cleared by Ada and Hunk with 5-star rankings. That leaves 3 characters, Leon, Krauser, and Wesker, to clear all the stages with 5 stars. Got a bit of progress with Leon and Krauser. And then, to finish the video, we'll get to Albert Wesker. I'm looking forward to that when it happens. Five stars with Ada. Excellent. That should wrap things up pretty nicely. Ada's toolkit is extremely useful. This time, we're just going to skip the main menu. We're going to go straight to the castle section with Krauser. This can be one of the trickier levels to overcome if you don't have the right weapon equipped at the right time, because of the Garradors, the mini-bosses are heavily armored. Krauser only has his bow and arrows, his knife, and his Plagas arm, but the arm is going to be what makes it significantly easier for Krauser to capitalize on a high score. Hey, that was nice. Get a kick out of that. It is extremely satisfying to land a headshot with Krauser's bow. Watch out for these Plagas that can instantly kill you if they get too close. Luckily, they go down in just a few hits. Just gotta concentrate on the head. Gotta get ahead in life, I guess. Joke of the year 2024. Now, continue onwards. Whoop. Another cultist. Crazy cultists at the castle with Krauser. Gotta get the alliteration on point. 18 in a row. Besides a few of them that have shields or helmets, they don't have much in the way of armor, so we can build up a combo rather quickly. Krauser's bow does a ton of damage, especially with a headshot. Crossbow versus bow. Oh. I'll have to get that guy later. Luckily that guy is wearing his helmet. Safety first. My aim isn't on point today. I keep getting distracted. A Garrador. Ready? Plagas. Engage. What a combo. That's the biggest concern of this level is the Garradors, taking up a lot of ammunition to take down. But with Krauser's power of the last Plagas, can make it a simple affair. We finally got that crossbow guy that's been annoying us. Got to improve my aim. So we've cleared Ada's stages with 5 stars. So now, just for the sake of consistency, let's stick to Krauser for now. Then we'll get later on back to Leon. And then myself. Albert Wesker. Soon you'll be hearing from me. when I'm not busy asking Ada to retrieve the sample. I'll be engaged in the Mercenaries ASMR for complete ASMR relaxation. Alright, thanks Wesker. A preview of things to come. Just to keep the combo up, let's just use the Plagas arm. It'll regenerate after a while, so we can actually afford to use it against even the enemy grunts. Nice. Nice. Not nice. At least it wasn't in the knee. Oh, okay, that's not much better. Can tell Krauser's a superhuman. He's tanking these blows like nobody's business. Bonus time. Let's get some revenge. Krauser's revenge. Engage. Crossbow bolts. Very disruptive. We can disrupt them just as bad, if not worse. Our Plagas arm is back. These crossbow enemies are quite getting on my nerves. So let's go up and obliterate them. Only thing about Krauser's bow is it's not particularly great at crowd control because you have to aim for an individual target. But Krauser gets access to brilliant melee moves, and his knife does great damage for absolutely free. Sometimes in a pinch, the knife is all you need. So, melee moves, great at clearing the room. You just need to create the opportunity to activate them. Get away from us. Plagas arm is ready. Break through these shields. Damn it. Alright. No more messing around. Being quite generous with the use of the Plagas arm. You can see why in this level, if you don't have an arsenal of weaponry as powerful or varied to deal with particular enemies, you can get overwhelmed rather easily, even though these enemies have quite simple patterns. Crossbow, shield, and melee weapons. The sheer numbers can overwhelm you. Luckily, Krauser's got great melee options, and a boss killer ability. Oh, nice. Hit a helmet on and he still knocked him out. Very good to have a kind of armor-piercing moment like that in games. The enemy puts their defense up and you're just like, yeah, that's not going to work for me, brother. We have enough points to obtain 5 stars in this stage. So now it's just a case of having fun. And apparently, having a total Michael Bay moment where there's an explosion in the background and we're just like, yep, that's just a normal Michael Bay day. Kicking an explosive barrel and Krauser's just like, yeah, I'm cool. Crossbow Ganados keep spawning. And they got really good aim going for the head. Alright, let's wipe these guys out. Try and do melee moves next to small groups of enemies to maximize its efficiency. Use that healing item there. Might as well use the grenades, we have them. Alright. It is good that they allow you to just instantly use the medicine rather than going in the menu every time. Even if it's a smaller heal, it's still very useful. After all, the aim of this mission is survival. As long as we survive, we will have cleared this castle stage with 5 stars. Got him. Got him. Right. Crossbow enemies just don't take long at all to attack you. Right, final blaze of glory. Mission completed. Quite intense, isn't it? Ada still holds a high score in this level, but with her arsenal of weaponry, no wonder. Nonetheless, Krauser still did more than enough points to obtain a 5-star ranking. Mission completed. Alright. This, if my memory serves correctly, this means I've only got one level left to clear with 5 stars using Krauser. And I think that's Waterworld. I'm sure. Let's see. Will we go back to the main menu or just skip ahead? Yeah, let's just get a little bit of that Mercenary soundtrack there. It's like mysterious theme. Like, things are about to happen. The grit's about to hit the pan. Okay, let's have a look. Squeaky chair. Okay. Right. The final stage with Krauser. We have to clear the Waterworld stage with 5 stars. Luckily, this is an area that Krauser should excel at, as the largest threat in the area, besides the crossbow ganados, is that sound. Super Salvador. Where is he? There he is. Plagas. Activate. The Plagas arm will take down even Super Salvador in a single strike. So the biggest concern about this level is this super boss lurking in the background, menacingly with the sound of chainsaws in the background. Thanks to Krauser's bow and his Plagas arm, we can make quick work of them, meaning we can concentrate on the smaller ganados, accumulate points, and obtain 5 stars. And man, Krauser, that must have been agony on your knees. Very efficient as well, only having one weapon, meaning that you don't really need to try and obtain ammunition. The game just throws nothing but arrows at you. And we've already got our Plagas arm back. The recharge rate on this is kind of insane, especially for a weapon that can just instantly kill everything. Normally in most games, it's a pretty heavy limitation to give you something like that. Like, yeah, it'll kill something in one hit, but you have to do something ridiculous to activate it, or it's very impractical. In the case of Krauser, you just wait a few moments and it comes straight back. Great for getting you out of a pinch. You can be staggered out of activating it, though, if you get hit in the middle of its animation. But once you start going, boom. Should be great opportunities here for some melee moves. That's what I mean, though, is like the bow is so efficient that most of the time you have to use the flash grenades to activate melee. Because the bow is so efficient with headshots, they don't stay alive long enough to trigger a melee move. But it's still very efficient with these cartwheel kicks. Well, roundhouse kicks. Very reminiscent of old school action movies. It's like the go-to looks cool move they gotta throw in there every now and then. Big roundhouse kick just looks cool and dynamic, and like it would hurt a hell of a lot. Speaking of hurting a hell of a lot, I can hear Super Salvador. So we can't mess around too much. As powerful as Krauser is, even he will go down in a single hit to Salvador. So we need to keep the distance. We need to gauge where Super Salvador is. Intercept this dynamite. Oh, there he is. Off to the Shadow Realm of Super Salvador. It's so simple. Once you get the Plagas arm, you can really make Super Salvador look like an easy opponent. But you're going to see how challenging he can be, especially when we get back over here with Leon. Leon has a lot of difficulties in some of these stages because of his limited arsenal. He has 2 very good weapons. But as I said earlier in the video, I feel like he could have used one more I feel like I could have used the broken butterfly. But we'll get into that later. I will clear even Leon's stages with 5 stars. I just felt it was appropriate to leave that to last. Before we get back to my friend, Wesker. Albert Wesker. It won't be long. I'll have more than 7 minutes to play with you. Have people missed me? While Krauser runs around for my amusement. No. The true savior of this wretched race will be upon you soon. Until then. Alright, thanks, Wesker. It won't be long until Albert Wesker arrives. That'll be good. Character I did a roleplay on recently. Very cool, mysterious, and morally dark character. And that is the beauty of the Mercenaries ASMR. Dino Crisis has a similar mode to this, which is basically Resident Evil but dinosaurs, where you get to play all the characters that are in the main story, and ones that aren't in the same game, giving you an opportunity to just try some different playstyles. So it's a non-canon adventure. Dino Crisis 2, you got to play as characters from 1 and 2. And Mercenaries, you get to see characters like Krauser, you meet in the main story. Or, in the case of Hunk, a character that's not even in the story at all. It's great little touches like this that add replayability to any game, and it's part of what makes Resident Evil 4 ASMR a classic, entertaining, and relaxing experience, if you can pull it off. And it just feels good to just take the restraints off, just focus on pure combat. I enjoy exploring the main areas of Resident Evil 4, but it's good to just go wild and be like, right, let's test out all this weaponry. That's really only 2 things I would ask of this when this game was created. I would have had Leon's base equipment to have the broken butterfly equipped, just for balancing purposes. It would put Leon basically into S tier alongside every other character. He's an A tier character in my opinion, in the Mercenaries, but the broken butterfly would just give him that broken edge that would shift him into overpowered. But he's a fun character to play. And the only other change I would have made to this game during its development would have been to... how do I describe this? To implement a custom loadout mode. So basically, you could just go into the Mercenaries with any character you want and use any weapons you want. It would really just let you mess around. You can do that. 5 stars with Krauser in the Waterworld stage. So, we have obtained 5 stars on all stages with Ada, Krauser, and Hunk. That leaves 2 characters left, Leon and Albert Wesker. So who do you think we're going to go for next? We'll have to see. Alright, take a breather for a moment. It's quite intense, playing this game mode. Let's get right back in there. So, we'll be playing as Leon this time. We obtained 5 stars in the village, but we had quite a bit of difficulty obtaining 5 stars in the castle. So let's get right back in there and show you how it's done. As I said, Leon is an A-tier character. He has a fantastic pistol in the Blacktail, and a wonderful shotgun in the Riot Gun, my favorite in the game. So much that I kept it in the main story, even though I could have upgraded to the Striker. But the Blacktail is a fantastic handgun. Leon just struggles with destroying boss enemies, because the Riot Gun, while powerful, is best used at close range, and a lot of these mini-boss characters are lethal at that distance. But regular Ganados, the riot gun is just devastating to use. If you gave Leon the broken butterfly, I think it just would have given that little bit of broken edge from the broken butterfly. So if a Gyarados showed up, all you'd have to do is wait for his back to be exposed and just obliterate him. I think that would have been a reasonable, but it would have made him overpowered, but not ridiculous. It would have made sense. It's not like I'm asking to give Leon the infinite launcher or something. Something just deliberately designed to be broken. Ironic. Coming from a guy basically standing up for the broken butterfly. Probably because it's a revolver. Very cool weapon. Old school. So in this stage, Leon is very good at eliminating individual Ganados. He has two great weapons for taking out individual enemies rather quickly. It's just mini-bosses he struggles with. But we'll work on that. We're back here for a reason. We're not here to fail, we're here to win. We're gonna get 5 stars. On all stages with Leon. Even if his arsenal is just that slight bit less powerful. But when the competition is Ada's incredibly varied moveset, Krauser's deliberately overpowered Blagger's arm, and Hunk's incredibly useful weapon in the TMP, and that brutal neck break move. Leon is still the main character of this game for a reason. He has solid fundamentals, and is still a powerful character. So there's a Gyarados there. What we're going to have to do is play a little bit dangerously here. But it's going to work. It has to. We need to get the Gyarados up close. We need to hit them as many times as possible up close to maximize damage. Every time he takes a swipe at us, these Wolverine-style claws, we need to time our shot perfectly. You do it up close enough times, and it might not take him down in a single hit, but it's still a lot of damage hitting him, even if it isn't in his weak spot. Once again, crossbow Ganados, the most annoying types of enemies in the game. At least with a chainsaw Ganado, you get the idea. That sense of dread, like you hear the chainsaw and you're like, uh-oh, there's a guy who can instantly kill me lurking around here somewhere. Better watch out. Crossbow Ganados, you just get this kind of and then you just take damage. There's no fun in that. But we'll eliminate them. Resident Evil 4's adaptive difficulty has made it so that I encounter a lot of crossbow Ganados when I normally shouldn't. You see, the main story adapts its difficulty based on how well or poorly you are playing. So one enemy type that you will either see a lot of or not much of is the crossbow Ganado. So, if you're playing the game very well, you will see a lot of those guys. And I'm very familiar with them by now. They're very annoying. It's also strange, though, to have the developers pretty much acknowledge that. Like, they tested this game and went, these guys are infuriating. Let's leave them for the skilled players. Because I can imagine a novice player encountering the crossbow guys just losing their mind. Because even skilled players like myself can just get so frustrated with them. But then when you get in their face with a riot gun and blast away at them, it makes it all worth it. Alright, let's mess these guys up. It's a very quick reload on those crossbows. Very aggravating. But we're building good combos so far. Just need to keep it up. Riot gun's pretty much the perfect weapon for this scenario. Small enclosed space, lots of enemies grouped together. This maximizes its damage and the amount of enemies we can take down. It's the perfect weapon for this scenario. And it's great at blasting through shields. Keep the combo meter up. Also, the game is actually quite generous, I've noticed during recording this ASMR playthrough. The game gives you lots and lots of shotgun shells. Quite surprising. But in a game based on crowd control, it makes sense they want to give you ammunition for the greatest crowd control weapon there is. Not enough points to obtain 5 stars, but we'll get there, and we'll eventually get to this very dangerous area where the crossbow ganados are. I mean, you can hear them in the background, still firing away. Leon's gonna get his revenge on these guys, don't worry. Man, this is where you get to see everyone can play Resident Evil 4. Besides like the stock equipment you have in this game mode, it shows you how everyone's got their own individual styles. So my gameplay through is going to be totally different from someone else's. Someone might prefer the pistols or the shotgun or the semi-auto rifle. I like all the weapons, but it's just my personal taste that I enjoy the riot gun so much. So, somebody else playing this stage might conquer it completely different from me, and that's part of a good game. You can still enjoy it in your own manner. The game doesn't punish you for playing a particular way, it just gives you the option, and tells you, go see if it can make it work for yourself. It's kind of like a good workout in real life. It's not always about finding the easiest or most difficult option. It's finding the action that works best for you. Because at the end of the day, you're still doing something. And that's what games are about, engagement. You gotta have fun with these things. And the game doesn't tell me, right, use the handgun or use the riot gun. It just encourages you, but doesn't enforce it. You could do this entire stage with the blacktail if you wanted. Just down to your own personal preference. In fact, you can go as far as do this entire stage with a knife, if you're a glutton for punishment. We're almost there. If we keep the combo meter up, we should have enough to make 5 stars. So use the blacktail to extend the combo meter. Or grenades. 19. That should be enough. Let's go for 20. 22 in a row. That's gotta be enough. Mission completed. 70,000 points. Ada still holds the high score for this stage, but no wonder with her weaponry. We didn't succeed the first time. Well, we did. We obtained 4 stars, which was enough to unlock a secret character. But now we've cleared the castle section with Leon, with 5 stars. What we set out to achieve originally. Getting into the deep end of the Mercenaries ASMR. Have you made it this far in the video? Or at least awake, that is. Or maybe you've woken up. Thanks very much for making it this far, one way or the other. I really appreciate all of you. And while it takes a lot of effort and time to release these videos, to make these 3-hour-long videos, I really appreciate your company. Thank you. It allows me to share these experiences with you all. And can share a common connection. Hey, this game's pretty cool. Let's watch someone play it. And start conversations with each other. Make good memories. Now, let's make another one. Let's go to the island section with Leon. This is another area where Leon has a great strength. The blacktail and the riot gun do great in this level. But the mini-boss JJ just tanks a lot of bullets. so we have to approach him carefully with slightly different strategy. We can still make this limited arsenal of weapons work. Because the riot gun does have one additional effect that is extremely useful against mini-bosses. You just have to do it the right way. Even though that movie wasn't released around the time Resident Evil 4 was originally released, getting the Blacktail really makes me feel like I'm in a John Wick movie. This fast, fluid, dynamic handgun combat action. You're not just aiming a gun at a guy like 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, goes down, where's the next guy? You get this rapid sense. You just aim at a guy and go, you, down, down, down. Great movies, the John Wick movies. So even an older game like this is giving me vibes of something else I enjoy. Tell me something, my friends, has anyone ever watched the John Wick movies? I love them. Some of the greatest action movies ever produced. Combo timer. Oh, there's JJ over there. Take advantage of the environment to stagger him. See, appearances can deceive. And what I mean by that is, the Blacktail, chaotic. The Blacktail might appear weak. It does have a low damage, but you can still hit the enemy a lot of times. So it looked like JJ was tanking a lot of blows there quite easily, but he was still accumulating a lot of damage, especially when you shoot him in the head. JJ's primary weakness is that he is operating a minigun, so it takes him a moment to launch it. Once that thing starts spinning though, it will do massive damage. But even JJ can handle a well-placed headshot. That staggers him for long enough for you to build up damage. With other characters like Ada, you could use the semi-auto rifle or Krauser's arm. In the case of Leon and Hunk, you need to shoot JJ in the head to stagger him, to give you time to do this. Just hit him with lots of damage at once. If you do that, he falls rather quickly. You take a weak weapon and give them death by 1,000 cuts. Might not be much, but it all adds up in the end, returning them to 0. Right, guns, the reload gonna be quick enough for this? Let's not find out the hard way. Another great thing. Usually when you play a shotgun in a game, it's a very slow reload to compensate for its high power. But the developers realize that you're gonna have lots of enemies swarming at you at once. That reload's gotta be quick. So to get a shotgun you can just reload in 2 seconds is very useful, especially as you obtain upgrades throughout the main story. Ooh, out of Blacktail bullets. Not anymore. Another JJ. Unfortunately, we're not close enough to JJ to stagger him. Shoot him in the head with a riot gun. One more, come on. That's the secret. Staggering JJ for long enough that you can basically keep him in a loop of taking damage, so that by the time he's finally ready to shoot you, he's already dead. Sent to the Shadow Realm. There we go. We managed to pull that one off. The high score kept by Krauser. Leon has cleared the island stage with 5 stars. We're almost at the end of this video, We have cleared all stages with 5 stars, with all characters except Leon and Albert Wesker. I left this one for last for a reason. This is possibly one of the hardest stages in the Mercenaries. The water world is a fun level, but it is extremely challenging to complete with Leon, as Super Salvador is extremely dangerous, and Leon does not have a very powerful boss killer weapon. Except, we'll make one out of what we're given. Now, Blacktail's great, taking out individual ganados. Super Salvador is very intimidating, right behind us. But I have a strategy. Gotta keep the distance. Now, Super Salvador is in the same territory as JJ. It is extremely dangerous to pull off. But it can be done. In that instance, we just got lucky. That ganado just didn't care about friendly fire and threw dynamite next to Super Salvador. Now, Super Salvador can be dealt with the same way we dealt with JJ. It's just very scary to pull off. You see, Super Salvador comes at you charging with a move that can instantly kill you. However, if you can hit Salvador in the face from up close with a riot gun round, you can stagger even this 7-foot-tall, dual-blade chainsaw flaming-wielding maniac. And Super Salvador doesn't have a ton of health. It's just that it takes a lot to stagger him. So you look at a 7-foot-tall, flaming, dual-bladed chainsaw-wielding maniac and think, yeah, I'm gonna let them get close. It's a ballsy move, but you are well rewarded if you can pull it off. If you can get right in the face of Super Salvador and unleash a riot gun round at just the exact time, you can take them out easily. However, this is not for beginners, because this technique is extremely dangerous. So if you can't pull it off, don't feel bad. Because if you make a single mistake against Super Salvador, you die. That's it. It's as simple as that. Because if you let Super Salvador get close enough, if you're not able to escape or destroy him quickly, you're done. Because he can close a lot of distance. But Leon, in a strange way, if you use this strategy, is actually one of the strongest characters in the Waterworld stage. This is designed to be more difficult to clear with Leon than any other stage, and yet, we can make it one of his most powerful. Watch this. Get right in the face of the guy that can kill you in one hit. Keep staggering him. Come on. I didn't say it wasn't going to be dangerous. Let him get close. This will maximize our firepower and increase the chance that we can stagger him. Need to make sure we don't get interrupted by a random ganado throwing something at us, otherwise the plan is pointless. See what I mean? Just like chess, you've got to leave all the pieces in the right position, or it could be checkmate. Right. Close the distance, give ourselves the opening. The trap has been laid. Go for it. Come on. There we are. Super Salvador goes down. So even without being given a boss killer weapon, with the right strategy, we have transformed the riot gun into one. Because the riot gun's staggering effect basically makes it so that it helps you clear the distance. When Salvador gets close, you stop them. You deal tons of damage, and the stagger sends them back a few feet, giving you another opportunity to shoot them. The question is, though, is a third Super Salvador going to spawn? We'll have to find out. Keep listening for that chainsaw. The screaming lunatic wielding it. So this would be considered, in most Resident Evil 4 players' eyes, they could look at the surface and think, this is the hardest stage for Leon to clear by far. Don't get me wrong, there are tons of strategies to clear this area with 5 stars using Leon. This is just as I said, the strategy that works best for myself. You find an alternative strategy, feel free to share in the comments. I love games where they just encourage you to mess around and find your own path. Sometimes it's good to get lost, because sometimes the adventure along the way, you can find something really cool. Because it really now shows you how powerful Leon's 2 weapons are, that we can still accomplish a 5-star with only 2 weapons. If we could do it with Hunk with a single weapon, there's nothing stopping us from obtaining 5 stars with 2. Nice, very nice combo. I think we're going to be able to pull this off. We've made enough of a combo. We'll be defeating the impossible. We'll get 5 stars with Leon for sure. Just gotta survive to the end. And that's why the riot gun exists. To get us out of tight situations like that. The 70,000 points have been obtained. But we're not done yet. Let's stick around for more. I'm not satisfied with just simply clearing this level. Just like when I played Fatal Labyrinth for the Sega Mega Drive and Dragon Crystal for the Sega Game Gear. Sometimes if I feel like I'm going to clear a game, I gotta clear it on my own terms. Sometimes it's not just enough to hit the status quo, to clear the mission. Sometimes I just want to completely bring a level to its knees and really establish my dominance. Especially after you fail so many times, it is really good when the game punishes you and brutalizes you to get your revenge. So taking an area like this, we can have a lot of difficulty in saying, you know what? I'm the boss now. Tell me, my friends, is there any proud gaming moments that you have? A stage that is considered extremely difficult or something that's really frustrating, and you managed against all odds to pull off something spectacular? I'd really love to know. I've got tons of them with my decades of experience playing games. Everyone's got their own precious memories, like, oh, I remember when I did this, and I remember when I did that. These little moments really make gaming worth playing, because they are unique to the player. We're not done. Let's get another 60 seconds. Let's just unleash hell on these enemies. We might be underpowered compared to the rest of the characters. That doesn't stop us from dispatching them with lethal efficiency. Well, looks like we're headed for head of the leaderboard. Joke of the Year 2024. Crossbow Ganado. There's another timer over there. Can we reach it in time? Time to find out. We might not. We might not be able to. 7 seconds left. Nah, I'm pretty satisfied with that. All right. Arguably the hardest stage in the game for Leon. We have cleared the Waterworld stage with 5 stars using Leon. We have cleared all stages with 5 stars using Leon, Ada, Hunk, and Krauser. It's now time for what I think a lot of people have been waiting for the final character in the Mercenaries ASMR. The antagonist of the Resident Evil franchise itself, Albert Wesker. Let us begin the final stages of Resident Evil 4, or more appropriate, Resident Evil 4 ASMR. Now we play the final character. We have cleared all stages with 5 stars, the exception of one character, the enigmatic, mysterious antagonist known as Albert Wesker. "2 minutes is all I have to play with you." Now, while Wesker gives ongoing commentary, witness his power. Wesker is no mere human. He has evolved to something beyond. Wesker has Leon's starting pistol, but absolutely devastating melee moves. Wesker is overpowered beyond belief, and it's a fitting way to conclude Resident Evil 4, The Mercenaries ASMR. Wesker has all the tools you need to succeed in this game mode, and a fitting final reward, getting to play as the true antagonist of the entire series. With flashy, effective, and ruthless martial arts moves. A pistol that does critical damage on headshots. Playing as Albert Wesker is all about being in perfect control, just like Wesker would like it. We get to use a Magnum, the Killer 7. Witness its power as it floors even mini-bosses. And if that wasn't enough, he gets the semi-automatic rifle, meaning we can make these mercenary stages a breeze. You see, Alakazam, you see the power that is awaiting all of mankind. Only the worthy may possess a fraction of the power of Wesker. With my handgun, Killer 7, and semi-automatic rifle, the Mercenaries ASMR will be enriched with complete global relaxation. I see what you mean, Wesker. Your toolkit is extremely impressive. You have the Killer 7, a Magnum just like the Broken Butterfly, which is absolutely devastating against mini-bosses and everything else in between. Also, its design is a homage to a weapon used in the Terminator movies. In the first Terminator, how fitting, the antagonist, Arnold Schwarzenegger, uses a gun very similar to the Killer 7. A .45 pistol with a laser sight on the top. How fitting that a villain such as Albert Wesker obtains the weapon of one of the most iconic villains, and yet heroes, in all of science fiction and modern movies. You see, this Killer 7 will make easy work of these pathetic ganados. They will witness the power of the plan that I have in store for this world. A mere setback. They think they can harm Albert Wesker, the true savior of this world. I beg to differ. Pathetic. Not even worth my time. Cold, ruthless, calculating. That sums up Albert Wesker in a nutshell. Constantly orchestrating plans behind the scenes. Even if he is not physically there, if something bad happens in the Resident Evil universe, you can bet that Albert Wesker has his phantom limbs all over it. Even if you can't see him, he's influenced the series in some way, and that's why he is the true antagonist of the series. We only got to see brief glimpses of Albert Wesker throughout the Separate Ways and Assignment Ada minigame modes. And look, this arsenal of weaponry. A fantastic weapon in the Killer 7, the semi-auto rifle with a ridiculous fire rate. I'm playing this at the moment, and the enemies are falling with complete ease. You see, Alakazam, this is the power that the human race can truly embrace. Only the worthy can even fathom even a fraction of this power. And apparently on your little video relaxation entertainment channel, I seem to have quite a few fans. Perhaps they are worthy, just like myself, of leading this world to a bright new utopia by any means necessary. Isn't that right, my friend Alakazam? Ominous words, Wesker, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You're really going to war with these ganados. Pathetic insects. A minute and 30 seconds is all I have left to play with you. Just look at how efficient Albert Wesker is in this game mode. A great weapon. A pistol with a suppressor. The Killer 7 and the semi-auto rifle. Not to mention Albert Wesker's incredible physical power in melee range. You hit a ganado and they just go flying. Like they're not even worth his time. Also, I dig the outfit. Why, thank you, Alakazam. Only the best for the savior of this wretched race. But I will lead them to humanity's true utopia. Okay, I was just complimenting the jacket, but I'll take it. This semi-auto rifle is a sufficient weapon. I don't need it to accomplish my mission. Very rarely would I even indulge myself in the barbaric acts seen before you. I send people like Ada to do it for me. But sometimes, to keep the gene pool pure. We have to eradicate the unworthy from this world. There's no questioning. You may question his morality, but there's no questioning Albert Wesker's ruthlessness and his practicality. Look at the high score we're accomplishing so far. The only one remotely close to this score is Hunk. This is merely a fraction of my power, Alakazam. The operative known as Hunk obtained 5 stars in this stage, as if I, Albert Wesker, if I really wanted to, I could max out my score in every single stage, if I wished. But I am above such petty things as keeping scores. As long as I obtain the sample I was looking for, and destroy all the enemies before you, then the true plan, Ouroboros, will be one the human race deserves. Now, select me and pick a stage, Alakazam. Alright, Wesker. Let's go for the castle area. Fitting. A castle ruled by kings and queens. In this new world, there will be no need for kings and queens. Only a true emperor, an overlord, one to rule above all. With the power of the sample and Umbrella's scientific genius, we will not only embrace the future, but create our own. He never loses his cool, does he? Gotta say, Wesker, I love the sunglasses, even at night. Don't mess around with a guy in shades. Discarding your attempts at petty humor, Alakazam. Thank you. If one is to rule this world, they must look fashionable doing so. A soldier dresses like a soldier. But, given that I will be the ruler of this world, I can wear whatever I please. Well, they are nice shades. Very accurate aim there, Wesker. Nice. The semi-auto rifle is just the absolute apex of weapons in Resident Evil 4 ASMR. A mild setback for Wesker, if you can even call it that. He's just humoring playing around with the enemies at this moment. We've got 10 bullets for the Killer 7. While Wesker was busy monologuing, I had time to prepare my thoughts on the Killer 7, a weapon we never purchased in the main storyline. The Killer 7 is like a less powerful version of the Broken Butterfly, but it's a magnum that you can use similar to the semi-auto rifle. It has a lot of power and can dish out a lot of bullets in a short space of time. The ammunition is extremely rare, but you'll know the right moment when to use it, because when the Killer 7 is unleashed, nothing but doom awaits your enemies. The fact Wesker has the semi-auto rifle and the Killer 7 alone would put him in S tier, but the S can stand for style, as well as special weaponry. Wesker's in a tier all of his own. The semi-auto rifle just makes absolute devastation of the enemies. Both Ganado, Garrador, and mini-bosses alike. One thing I love about the Killer 7 is that dynamic reload. So you think you can harm this world's new master? Pathetic. It won't be long until I'm done playing with these worthless insects. And perhaps I will grace you with an appearance in another video. Tell me, denizens of Alakazam's YouTube entertainment channel, would you like to see more of myself? I already know the answer. I've planned for everything. But if you were to see me again, what would you like Albert Wesker to do in said video, if I give it the grace of my time and effort? Anything Albert Wesker puts his mind to will be accomplished with S-grade precision. That's a good shout, Wesker. If people are a fan of the character Albert Wesker, how would you like to see him again? In a roleplay of some kind? Let me know some of your ideas in the comments. I really like this character. Yeah, I do like you, Wesker. Why, thank you, Alakazam. I see. It's in your... bonus time. Excuse me. Well, thanks for pointing that out, Alakazam. It was in your best interests to assist me, both on this entertainment site, this ASMR relaxation video. We will collaborate more in the future, Alakazam. Thanks. Really appreciate that, Wesker. After all the struggles we've went through, with even powerful characters like Hunk, Ada, and Krauser, to go through these stages as Wesker just feels like a revenge tour. We're taking revenge on all of these enemies that have aggravated us so far, with Wesker's impressive 75, 76, 77 in a row. Wesker makes it look easy. It is easy, Alakazam. Easy for the worthy. You're among them, I guess. After all, choosing to ally with myself and Umbrella's interests shows that it's in your best interests to assist me. You'll be rewarded in the new empire. Well, that sounds foreboding, but still. Wesker is just absolutely destroying these enemies. Anytime he gets in melee range, that nice touch of adding martial arts mixed with superhuman strength and agility make Albert Wesker not only a menacing and terrifying villain to face off against, but one for the Ganados, who have no idea what's in store for them, with him being so powerful in this game mode. When you've got a character with an arsenal as powerful as Ada's, it takes a lot. It takes a real lot of power to get above even Ada's toolkit. Wesker has the Magnum for bosses, the Semi-Auto for bosses, grenades, healing items, and a critical multiplier handgun for precision, deadly headshots. We have more than surpassed the castle stage to obtain 5 stars. What a fitting way as we are getting close to the conclusion of Resident Evil 4 ASMR. Wesker's Revenge Tour. Please, Alakazam. We obtained the 5-star ranking you desired so much, and the high score without even trying. We have only 2 stages left, the island and the water world.
Well then, bask in my glory, dear listeners. Are you with me in Alakazam as we journey into a greater new world? Let him know in the comments section, and press the button that concludes that you liked said video. Now, no time to waste. We're just going to instantly begin the island area in this game. This semi-automatic rifle will suffice for destroying these worthless maggots. You think a shield will protect you? Pitiful. The Las Plagas is nothing compared to the power I hold. The right to be a god. That right has always been mine. And with Ouroboros, I have that right. What's Ouroboros, Wesker? It sounds familiar. In time you may find out, Alakazam. I have plans for this world. Perhaps plans in a sequel. What was that? Nothing, Alakazam. Focus on the game. Alright. JJ's around here. Not to worry, Wesker's got this under control. And with the Killer 7 by our side, we don't even remotely fear mini-bosses at this rate. The weapon is just that good. Having a weapon specifically designed to kill bosses, and a boss in front of you, it's a match made in heaven. Or in this case, hell. As we wreak it upon our enemies. You're doing that just to show off, aren't you, Wesker? You can shoot about 7 times with the Killer 7, funny enough. You're choosing to do a manual reload just because it looks cool. When I have to spend my time doing something, these enemies aren't posing much of a threat, if any. If anything, I'm allowing them to get close, just to keep things interesting. Now that is a power move if I've ever heard one. Still, Wesker does have a point. The Killer 7 has one of the slickest, most cool reload animations. For such a powerful weapon, I mean the semi-auto rifle alone just destroys JJ. Sometimes it's good to just sit back and relax. With the other characters, the enemies are a threat, but they manage to pull through in the end. But with Albert Wesker in this area, gracing us with his presence, I don't have any fear whatsoever he's going to take full control of this situation, just exactly the way he likes it. Of course, Alakazam. It's all part of the plan, you see. I heard some other character use that line. Bonus time. We will have more than enough points to obtain your so desired 5-star ranking. Can one of them even remotely pose a challenge? I doubt it very much. Mission successful. The island section cleared with 5 stars. You're almost at the end of this ASMR Resident Evil 4 series, Alakazam. What way would be more fitting than the master of the Resident Evil universe, Albert Wesker, to close out this series with one final dominant performance against the Waterworld stage in the Mercenaries ASMR. Tell me, Alakazam, just like I sent Ada to retrieve the sample, you must have more grand visions, more designs, more missions to complete in the future. Perhaps I can join you in creating a new dream, one we can all share. Whether people like it or not, we will lead them to glory. We can lead them to relaxation and entertainment too, Wesker. Whatever keeps them awake at night or asleep at night, it cares little to me. Wesker's got a point. I mean, it feels strange. The Mercenaries ASMR is going to indicate the finale of Resident Evil 4 ASMR. Gonna take Albert Wesker for one last mission and conclude this ASMR entertainment experience. Resident Evil 4 has been an absolute pleasure to play. And as I grace you with the vision that is Albert Wesker's beautiful destruction of these enemies, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for enjoying this ASMR entertainment series. It really means the world to both of us, especially in Wesker's case. He has grand visions and plans for this world. So we'll see where we end up with that in the future. Whether it's somewhere in the Resident Evil universe or somewhere else. It's good to embrace the role of both hero and villain alike. You've got to have a little bit of light to appreciate the dark, and a bit of dark to appreciate the light. Just like how Resident Evil represents. Yeah, you could play a game for relaxation, something simple, something stress-free. But for some people, taking on a horrifying challenge, insurmountable odds, and pulling through, whatever experience you have obtained. Wow, Wesker. You just did that to cut me off, didn't you? You're distracting everyone. A Super Salvador means nothing to the master of Ouroboros. Wow, he just casually walked in there where a Super Salvador was. Just gunned him down with a Killer 7. Not even Krauser could finish Super Salvador that quickly. Never doubt when I'm in charge, Alakazam. I'll bring you your precious 5-star ranking by any means necessary. Continue on with your monologue of gratitude. Well, thanks, Wesker. You've definitely got this under control. But yeah, whatever you get out of this ASMR entertainment series, I hope it has brought entertainment, relaxation, sleep, nostalgia, horror, comedy, or just a sense of belonging. Like by watching these videos, you're sharing an experience of a game. Not just with yourself, with other people. We've got good engagement in the comments, kind people around here. We get to share in the love that people share universally.
for Resident Evil 4, one of the finest games ever created and one of the most influential games of all time, and the apex of the Resident Evil 4 series and franchise. So it's fitting that as we mastermind an entire ASMR playthrough, that we conclude it with the mastermind of the Resident Evil series, Albert Wesker. But I don't think we'll have seen the last of Albert Wesker. I think I can call him at any time. Perhaps I can get him to be convinced to be interested in a collaboration. Well, Alakazam, when I'm not searching for the sample, I could indulge your simple interests of playing video entertainment games. Maybe I could give it a go myself. These real battles are predictable. They thought they could damage me. Pathetic. Super Salvador. Adding super to your name will do nothing to spare you from the wrath I will wreak upon you and your worthless Ganado companions. Fall, Super Salvador. Is that your best? Wesker's not taking down 2 Super Salvadors. Grenades, handgun, semi-auto rifle, he's got this in the bag. Growing very close to the end of Resident Evil 4 ASMR. I would really appreciate it as Wesker just unleashes absolute hell upon these poor enemies. If you've made it this far in the series, let me know. When did you stop watching to make it to this point? Did you catch us in the middle? By the very end? From the very beginning? I'd love to know. And this ASMR entertainment experience will always be up here on this channel for you to enjoy. For people who enjoy my basic platforming games and kid-friendly games, family games. Sometimes it's just good to go to the dark side, embrace horror, violence, and combat. I aim on this channel to have something for everyone, whether it's role plays, family games, or more adult content like this. I'd like to know what you thought about the series. So thank you for your time. This is the final stage we have to obtain 5 stars on. With Wesker here, that's not going to be an issue. Sometimes you just gotta take a moment to be quiet. It has been 3+ hours. Look at this. The water world is almost a ghost town at this rate. It might be how the rest of the world looks if Albert Wesker gets his way. But no matter what happens, Albert Wesker has a welcome place on my channel as one of my dear friends. So perhaps Wesker will pop by every now and then to make an appearance. Let me know what you think about that. I make friends with both heroes and villains alike. I don't know. Maybe me just residing in the Shadow Realm has that effect on them. Who knows? You don't choose your friends. It just happens. Oh man, that Killer 7 just blowing right through the shields.
It's the fact when you shoot them with a magnum and they just go flying 2 feet back. And you get a slick reload like that. Great opportunity to try out a weapon that we never used in the main story. From the island section, we could have used the Killer 7 as soon as it was available, but we just happened to have upgraded the Broken Butterfly quite a few times. It's a viable option for anyone who wants to use it, but I think it's cool to conclude Resident Evil 4 ASMR with one last revenge tour with Albert Wesker. I issue a challenge. Any of you think you are worthy, climb this platform. Face your death. Perhaps I will have mercy. No challengers. Typical. No one has drive or ambition. Cowards trying to strike me from behind. Albert Wesker may reside in the shadows, but I rule over them. I am the single driving force between this world and its salvation. And so, Alakazam, I will give you a little bit extra bonus time and allow you to conclude whatever it is you please with this ASMR entertainment experience. Very considerate of you, Wesker. It's about time to wrap things up. As we count down, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. As we conclude Resident Evil 4 ASMR. Thank you so much for watching this series. As our final mission is complete, Albert Wesker sits upon his chair, contemplating the future, just as we shall contemplate the future of this channel. Resident Evil 4 ASMR is complete, and I'm honored to bring this experience to you. 5 stars obtained with every single character in every single stage. We have truly mastered Resident Evil 4 in an ASMR format. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you all very much. Wesker does too, he just won't say it out loud. He has people to do that for him. And now, we get one final bonus before we conclude this video. We obtain a reward. Now you can get a hand cannon from the merchant. Yes, it's free. Anytime we please, if there's enough demand, I can return to the world of Resident Evil 4 and perhaps show you some bonus weapons. But, as far as we're concerned at this moment, consider the Resident Evil 4 ASMR series to finally be complete. As always, thank you for watching this series. This is your friend, Alakazam ASMR, and thank you for watching Resident Evil 4 The Mercenaries ASMR. Thank you. I love yous all, mates. No matter who you are or where you are, take care of yourself. And adios, stranger. See you with me and my friend Alakazam in the next great adventure, strangers. One last time for the series, as we conclude Resident Evil 4 ASMR. Me and Alakazam love you. Thank you.